Hey guys, it's Leslie Cook. I'm here with Sassy again. I have only posted one video, I think, of her, and we were working on her giving to the bit because she has the pull sensitivity and like trying to rear up problem. I will put a little video clip. I actually got a little bit of her rearing up when I was riding her, or trying to. And I say rear up, but it wasn't like way up, it was just little pops, I call them, just getting light on the front end. So what I've been doing, what she has improved on is she stands at the mounting block now without running away. She doesn't jig at the walk anymore. She trots around pretty slow with a good look in her eyes. See how soft she looks. And she goes down by spooky things better, and she's doing really good. But we still have this wanting to pop up problem. So we have had lots of adjustments. We've cleaned out her ears. We've had her teeth checked. She's on supplements. So now we know that we're down to behavioral. So things that I've been doing that I don't want to bore you in the video. I've been using I just had an epiphany today. What I do is, like, I want to call it like balanced something, like horse training, because when I teach my clinics, I'm teaching the students that there's an oversensitive horse here and a really dull horse here. And our goal is this horse right in the middle, where they're responding to your aids very lightly, easily, not having to dig spurs in, not having to kick hard, not having to pull hard. So they just respond like you can be an invisible rider, but they're desensitized to outside stimuli and being overreactive to your aids. So it's also what I'm doing with positive reinforcement training, clicker, and negative reinforcement training, which is pressure, release. Now, don't think of positive and negative as good and bad. Positive, think of it as math. Positive, you add something to. So I put my hand up by her pull. I want her to drop it down. I add something to. I give her a treat. Bring her up into the video. Negative reinforcement is when you take something away. So I apply pressure first. When she moves away from the pressure, move away from the pressure, Sassy, then I release the pressure. So, but I don't subscribe just to one method. I think that both have value, and I've been using them both together. I don't think all positive reinforcement with treats is good for any animal. They get a little treat hoardy, and but it's been doing magical things for me, Secret, Sassy, and Jersey. So what I'm doing now is I have put this bitless bridle on her. So I just worked her with the rope halter, and I was tapping the flag while she was at a standstill and a walk. I was tapping the flag up here in between her ears. I really need a camera crew. Until she dropped her head. She kind of did it. Okay, good. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. But what she reacts to is when she feels a lot of pressure. So the reason why I want to use the bitless first is because it's like a whole head hug, and it's gonna put the pressure up here on the pull that I want, versus the bit, especially on her tiny little head. The bridle's just kind of all like loosey-goosey, and I don't need the extra added problems of like the buckles digging into her and stuff. So I'm gonna first start with this. I'm actually going to use the bitting up method that I don't like to use with a lot of horses, but you can ream me for not having the right tack if you want. But I'm going to tie the reins back there. I don't have a surcingle, I just have a saddle and a girth, but that's what I'm going to do. And this is the first time I'm going to be doing this with the bitless bridle. She's not used to the bitless bridle at all. I rode her in it once and it didn't go well because she just didn't. The first time that you put it on, they don't know what to do. It feels different. So but they cross under here, so it's not just a side pull, it crosses underneath like this, and it applies a whole head hug. And this is actually a little high on her. You want it right there, but I want it a little higher because I don't want her being too sensitive. I want her feeling more just like solid pressure. So I got a new phone and I can't figure out the focus thing. So I'm sorry that some of it's going to be blurry, but hopefully it'll try to stay focused on her. but you can just watch through the blur. So I want to do this on video the first time because I expect her to pull away from the pressure and try to come up and maybe over. And I hope that she doesn't do it. I hope I've trained her enough. But I want you guys to see me also. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows around here. Like, I do have to use, the horse has to have boundaries. She has to know no as well. So here we go. Sorry, a little bit more. I'm going to be using a combination of negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, boundaries, and a whole lot of intuition and winging it. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go back to what she knows. Point, forward. Okay, good. Good. See, she came up against it. I didn't want anything bad to happen, so I sent her forward pretty strong with a lot of clucking in that flag. Okay, so that went pretty well here, but we'll see. I was thinking about going tighter just for the sake of the video, but I'll do it a little tighter tomorrow. Now what I wanted to talk about, we can't show in the Arab circuit in a bitless yet, so I do have to get her going in a bit, which is okay. But I wanted to talk about how with Sassy, it wasn't even necessarily the bit though that was causing her to do that. It was the feeling of being trapped and the pressure applied. And so I just love how she's dropping her head every time I put my hand up there now. So this took a while because it was like lifting up first, leaning away from me. Magic. This was like 2 sessions. So I'm going to keep doing this with the bitless until I can get it pretty snug and until I can do anything with this, any sound in the barn, anything, and until I see her respond by dropping and softening instead of lifting and reacting. When I get to that point where I feel confident enough that she's kind of learned her lesson about what to do or the correct response about pressure, then I will put a bit in her mouth. Because if I had the bit in her mouth, it's bit plus pulling on the pole plus everything, I probably could have flipped her over today, meaning she was like rearing up, meaning they come all the way back and land like this. I've done it when I was a kid to a couple horses. I've seen it done to a lot of horses. I've seen people get really hurt. Horses have died from it or just gotten really messed up. I mean, imagine it. I mean, they're going to need the chiropractor forever after that.